going to tell you something which will help you very much in your marriages and will also help you very much in bringing up your children. And actually, the lesson is not mine. She's not sitting here right now, but the lesson came from my wife. So I was a teacher. I started teaching when I was 20 years old. I was very young. I loved my students to the end of the earth. I fed them. I took them for Shabbos. I took them on trips. I took them to games. Half the day I'm a businessman, so I had money. And they were like my boys, and they still are. Today they still are. So every morning I bought them Entenmann's. I don't know if they have that here, but I bought them Entenmann's cupcakes, chocolate cupcakes that had white filling inside. Unbelievable cupcake. At that time I was still eating chalavakim, and I would give every single boy a cupcake every single day. They get a cupcake after tefillah, they ate their cupcake. And I love chocolate, so I also had a cupcake, but I didn't have it after tefillah. I had it for lunch with my coffee, my tea. So one day I came up from gym at 11 o'clock after recess, and I come walking into the room, and my cupcake that was on the table, that was always on the table, the wrapper was there, but someone ate my cupcake. So it was just a wrapper. So the mechutzif who ate my cupcake didn't even throw out the wrapper. It was like, in your face, Rabbi. I'm going to eat your cupcake, and I'm going to leave the wrapper. I'm a Kohen. I don't put up with this stuff. So I sat down, and I'm thinking to myself, this kid, I gave him tests, I gave him 20 points extra just for smiling. I took care of these kids like nobody took care of them. Who in my class would do this? So I sat down, and I said, guys, it was 4 months before the end of school. I said, you will never go to recess again until I know who ate my cupcake. So at lunchtime, a boy walks over to me, Rebbe, I need to talk to you. I said, what's going on? Now this is the kid, it's always like this. But I gave the most love to him. His father walked out on him when he was a little boy. He lived in my house. I bought him clothing, I bought him sneakers. This is the guy who ate my cupcake. It's always the guy no good deed goes unpunished. The one you give the most is the one that throws it in your face, right? So he says, I'm really sorry, Rabbi, but I ate your cupcake. I said, what? I said, what? What was going on in your stupid head? Why didn't you just come over to me and ask me? I would have bought you a truck full of Entenmann donuts. You know me. Why would you eat my cupcake? Why don't you ask me? I would have given it to you in a second. What kind of a chutzpah are you? To eat it and leave the wrapper? You're a chutzpah. You're a kafei tov. You don't appreciate anything. I can't teach you anymore. Hilchos Talmud Torah in the Rambam says, if you don't like a student, you are not allowed to teach him. You have to leave or he has to leave. You are not allowed to teach someone that you don't like. My teachers would have never been able to teach me. That's for sure. So, because they didn't like me. I was a wise guy. So, I said to him, listen to me carefully. I said, I want you to know what you did. You took your hand, you stuck it in my throat, into my stomach, and you pulled a cupcake out of my stomach. Because I'm supposed to be eating this right now. Like, could you just explain to me, like, what were you thinking, and why did you leave the wrapper there? I can't teach you anymore. I'm leaving you back to 7th grade. I never left back anyone. I never threw out anyone. I was so angry. I'm like, I'm not allowed to teach you halacha. It's not that I don't like you. I just can't teach you right now. It's just what you did is, I left them back. I said, 7th grade till the end of the year. I'm going to let you graduate. I'm an 8th grade teacher. You'll come back a day before if I can look at you, and I'll let you graduate. But you're not in my class anymore. So the bell rings. School's over. All the kids are murmuring. I walk out. Of course, I sent a note to the principal. The principal says, Rabbi Wallerstein, you never left anyone back. What happened? What did he do? I'm thinking, who knows what he did, right? I said, Rabbi, you cannot understand. I cannot even explain to you what this kid did. He said, no, just try. Tell me what he did. He ate my cupcake. The rabbi is looking at me. What did you say? I said, he ate my cupcake. You're throwing a kid out of class because he ate your cupcake? I'm like, I told you, Rabbi, you don't understand. I didn't want to talk to him. I'm going downstairs to my car. The kid's begging me, Rebbe, please, I'm so sorry. It was just stupid. I thought it would be funny for the class to leave the wrapper. I promise I'll never do it again in my life. You do not exist in my life. You are done. I come home, I'm on fire. I'm a Kohen. You don't do that to a Kohen. You don't take our Bikurim away. I come home, my wife sees, I used to come home from school, happy, she sees, woo, something happened. She says, Zacharia, what happened in school? You look like you're going to have a heart attack. I said, Esti, I said the boy's name, I said, you're not going to believe what he did today. She said, what did he do? He ate my cupcake. She looked at me, so? Are you kidding me? The kid ate my cupcake. The one thing I have for lunch, and you know what I give to this kid? So? My wife's very smart. She married me. Now I sound like that comedian, right? She says to me something amazing, and this is a lesson. If you come out of this Shabbaton with this lesson, you gained a new life. She said, I want to ask you a question. If a rabbi in another school would call you up and say, Rabbi Wallerstein, I had a situation, I don't know what to do. See, every day I eat a cupcake, and today I came up from recess, and my cupcake was gone, and there was a wrapper. What should I do, Rabbi Wallerstein? My wife said, Zachariah, what would you tell him? I thought for a minute, I said, I would tell him that if a kid that you love so much and loves you so much ate your cupcake, he probably has no food at home. The first thing I would do was go to his house and see if he has anything in the refrigerator and talk to his mother, because if he loves me, why would he eat it? The poor child is so hungry. She said, did you do that with this kid? He threw him out. Why don't you take the advice that you would have given someone else? She said, let me ask you another question. Let's say it wasn't your cupcake. Let's say another boy in the class decided to save his cupcake for lunch. And you would have come up and there would have been an empty wrapper on that kid's desk. What would you have done? And you caught the kid that did it. I would first say that it's very cute that you left the wrapper. That's pretty funny. I would have done the same thing as a kid. High five, baby. That was good. And two, you ate somebody's cupcake. Tomorrow, you'll give me your cupcake to him, and you're not going to have one. She said, would you have thrown him out? Of course not. It's a cute thing. A kid ate another kid's cupcake. That's it. She said, so why are you throwing him out? Because it's your cupcake. Not because it's a cupcake. You took it personally. And when you take something personally, you cannot think normally. So, she was 100% right. It wasn't, you took a cupcake and left the wrapper. It's, you took my cupcake. Where do you have a right to mess with my cupcake? Somebody else's cupcake? Just buy him another one. Buy him a box. Cannot take it personally. The kids, our family, our children, when they do something wrong, you tell your daughter to come home at 11. She shows up at 12. You're going crazy. I'm never letting you out again. I'm locking the doors. I'm taking away your shoes and your sneakers. How could you come, right? If your friend would call you and say, you know, my daughter's supposed to come home at 11. She came home at 12. What do you think I should do? You'll say, listen, you got to talk to her. Find out where she is, where she was, find out why it happened, maybe work on your relationship, maybe go into therapy. Would you say, I'm taking everything away? Would you go crazy? Would you yell at her? Of course not. So take the advice, what to do with your children. If somebody else would have called you what to do with their children, the advice you give them, take that advice with your children. Yallah, you'll have the best chinuch of any mother and father that ever happened. Since that day, no matter what it can, I've got some guys that did some nasty things to me, right? I don't get angry, because I know they didn't say, Hini Muchanim Zumin. She didn't sit there at 11 o'clock, look at her watch and say, it's 11. I'm going to stay out till 12. I'm going to make my mother miserable. She was having a good time. I didn't look at my watch. I was with my friends. The movie was did. But she never said, I'm doing this to hurt my parents. The problem is that when it's our kids, we think that they're doing it to hurt us. We take it personally. When it's someone else's kid, and they're asking you what to do, so they didn't do it to me, So I'm not taking it personally. So I can think like a normal person and give them the right advice. And it's the same thing in marriage. When a husband doesn't do what he's supposed to, he said he's going to come home, he didn't come home. He's not saying, I want to, if he wants to aggravate his wife, then get rid of him. But he's not doing that. He's just a schlump, schlemazel, whatever. He comes late all the time. Not doing it to agitate you. He's not saying, and now I'm going to be late to the wedding because I know she hates that. I'm going to make her angry. Chas v'shalom. And if your friend would say, you know, my husband, he always comes late, you're like, but he has so many good things about him. Don't worry about it. So why don't you take the same advice? Your husband has so many good things, but no, how could you be late? And vice versa. So I teach boys also, and a lot of my boys get married, you know, Baruch Hashem. I have this shiur of boys and they get married, and one of my boys got married to a really nice girl, and like 3 months after his marriage, he comes to my shiur after class. I give it shiur from every Tuesday night from 10:30 till 12 o'clock. There's a website called TorahAnytime.com. Every Tuesday, Wednesday is a new shiur. There's about 700 of my classes on there. It's videoed every single Tuesday and Wednesday night. Anyway, this guy comes, I know him very well. He comes to after my shiur, 12 o'clock. I'm like, uh-oh, Shana Rishon now, the first year you're married, I don't let them come to my shiur. They have to be home. So, at Shana 10th year, they have to come to my class because they don't want to be home. Okay? But anyway, so he comes and he says, Rabbi, I want a divorce. I need you to get me a rabbi and a bezdin. I want a divorce. I'm divorcing her. I'm like, shh, sit down. What happened? I knew them both. This was not. So what happened? She's crazy. Okay, I say, so that's not a reason to get divorced. We're all still married, guys, right? That's definitely not reason number one, that's for sure. Right? I said, translate crazy. He said, she asked me to bring home, it's a true story, she asked me to bring home 4 cans of string beans for supper. I went to the store, I came home, she takes the cans out of the bag, and I made a mistake. I didn't buy string beans. I bought asparagus. So she takes the can, she goes, asparagus? If your friend sent you for string beans, you would never come home with asparagus. What? When you went shopping, you were talking to your friends? Like, you have no respect for me. I asked you for string beans, and you bring asparagus? You think this marriage is going to work? If your friend sent you for string beans, would you come home with asparagus? Oh, your friends you pay attention to. Me, you come home with asparagus. 3 months. So he's a nice boy. So he turns to her and says, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I will be back in 4 minutes. He puts the things into the bag. He's going to run to the store, switch them. It's a big deal. It's down the block. It's in Flatbush, right? She says, no. I don't want no more string beans. I don't want to make a salad. He says, I made a mistake. I'll be right back. 4 minutes. I'm not interested. Don't go and buy the string beans because I'll throw them at you. He's like, Rebbe, I cannot live with such a person. I said, I got to ask you something. You're a pretty smart guy. String beans, asparagus, how did that happen? So you know what he tells me? He says, Rebbe, I do the shopping. His father passed away a long time ago, so he went to yeshiva. He used to help his mother. He used to do the shopping. My mother told me a long time ago, when you buy canned goods, take the ones from the back, because the ones in the front are expiring. So what they do is they rotate them, so the owner of the store wants to get rid of them before they expire. So my mother's very smart, so we take the cans from the back. He said, whoever put the string beans in the front, the guy, whoever stocked it, I didn't look. There was strings in the front. I took the 4 cans in the back. I didn't look. He's probably on his phone anyway, but he didn't look. So he wanted to do his wife a favor and bring the freshest string beans, and she threw it in his face. So he's done. So I called her down, and I said, you know that the reason you got asparagus is because he wanted to bring you the freshest string beans in the store. You never gave him a chance to explain. You just ripped his head off. I said, I told her what I'm telling you. I said to her, can I ask you something, Rachel? If your best friend would have called you on the phone and said, I sent my husband for string beans, and he came home with asparagus, what should I do? What would you have told her? Would you have told her, he doesn't love you, he doesn't care about you, he cares about his friends more? You would have told her, come on, that's so cute. Your husband's such a cute guy, he doesn't know the difference between streamers and asparagus. You should be happy. You know what you would have told him? You should be happy that he went to the store for you. Yeah. I said, so Rachel, why aren't you saying the same thing about your husband? The advice you'd give your friend about her husband, take that advice for yourself. And by the way, just try to do the right thing. So one of the biggest secrets in relationships is not to take it personally. Because the person, most of the time, is not doing it to hurt you. You will have a different marriage. You will have a different relationship with your children. The problem is that the advice we would give others, because then it's not personal, it's the other person, that advice we don't take to ourselves. And this I learned from my wife, because she totally deflated my anger when I realized that this poor kid, for whatever reason he was hungry, didn't think that Rebbe's going to be so angry, that Rebbe's going to flip out, right? And instead of treating him and going to find out if he's hungry, which I should have done, I didn't do the right thing. So I want to tell you that the next morning, I came to school, and I apologized to this boy in front of my whole class. Because I embarrassed him in front of the whole class, I apologized to him, and actually the next morning I brought him a box of Entenmann donuts. Because I said I reacted really the wrong way, but don't you ever touch my donut again. I learned a very big lesson, and it's helped me through life. Because when you don't take things personally, you just think so much smarter and so much straighter. And if you take your own advice you give to others, you'd be the most loving husband and wife. Because I'm sure that everyone here, if your friends called you and asked you what to do, you'd give a very loving answer. The reason we don't is because we take everything personally.